Hey guys, I'm going to take a look back at Metal Gear Solid 4, as Joe's away this week, and also we lost our save.
Oh my god, did we save? When did we left off?
I'm fucking saved.
It was after the Froggos. The egg, we got to the egg!
I'm going to go back and take a look at what we missed when we recorded, and some more information about certain things. To start off, Snake gives a monologue about war has changed. It's changed because it's more controlled, it's more about hired guns and less about a cause to fight for and more like making money, which, you know, may not have changed that much. It's more about the soldiers, it's more about the psychology towards war, and that's what this game goes into. So the army is now controlled by nanomachines. They can suppress emotions that will negatively affect them in combat environments, for example fear. At the start of the game we see Snake on a truck full of Middle Eastern rebels. The rebels rebelled against the government and they tried to stop that by hiring the Praying Mantis soldiers who work for Liquid, Snake's clone.
Brother, it's been too long.
So you play as Snake, you're disguised as one of the Middle Eastern rebels, and we get ambushed. During the ambush, we meet some geckos. So geckos are based on Metal Gears, but they don't have any ability to launch nukes. That's Metal Gear's claim to fame. Going back to the psychology of soldiers, geckos were designed to make peaceful animal noises like cow noises, in order to cause enemy soldiers to psychologically lower their guard on the battlefield. Joke about boxers and melons. And now we get to see the sneaking suit, which is, in this game, octo ammo. It's foreshadowed by one of the shows at the start of the game to do with octopuses. The octopus in the show can change its camouflage when touching objects, like Snake's suit can do in this game. A nice detail here is the way Snake checks for traps. It's a small detail that really fleshes out the world, and it builds character. Now we get to play the game for real. So there's enemies in this area, and rebels. Rebels are gonna die, that's just scripted. But in this abandoned house we've got the cardboard box, one of the best items in Metal Gear. Every game has a new mechanic to the cardboard box. I think this game had the best mechanics to the box. It didn't go as crazy as 5. 5 is cool, but it's very wacky.
But there have been a few recent developments in cardboard box technology.
I don't know, I was just looking at it, and suddenly I got this irresistible urge to get inside. No, not just an urge. More than that. It was my destiny to be here, in the box. I feel safe. Like this is where I was meant to be. Like I'd found the key to true happiness. Does any of that make sense?
Not even a look.
You should come inside the box. Then you'll know what I mean.
Man, I don't want to know what you mean.
So in this game there's a camo index, like there was in Snake Eater, and it's a lot more streamlined than 3 because of the octa camo. Something they've added to the game is the slow crawl. It keeps your camo gauge as if you were not moving. Also looks weird. So in this game we've got a sight gauge. In most Metal Gear games, there's always been a gauge under the life bar. The gauge represents one of the key mechanics of that game. For example, in Snake Eater, it was a stamina gauge because you were in the jungle and you needed to find your own food. In Metal Gear Solid 2, it was an O2 gauge or a grip gauge because they added new mechanics of hanging from ledges and swimming. Because one of the main themes in 4 is the effect of battle on soldiers, we have a sight gauge. It's similar to the stamina gauge, but will also affect your health regen. The main downside of a low sight gauge is the weapon sway when aiming. One of the ways to replenish your sight gauge is to eat food, not to be in stressful situations, and you can always smoke a cigarette.
I smell cigarettes.
So now we're in the area with the statue. We covered this in our previous video.
What are your thoughts on Metal Gear? I like the statue of the dick. Then it crumbles.
It's used as a disguise, like the cardboard box, but I don't think the enemy can see you when you're standing there. Unless you stop posing, the enemy can't see you. So in this area, there's a side objective that's never explained to you. You can help the rebels fight against the praying mantis soldiers. Up to this point, Otacon on the radio has told you that you should avoid combat, so it's really cool to see a side mission that isn't explained to you. You just think, these rebels haven't hurt me, let's see if we can help them. So what I did, I went around the map, I tried to find some sort of way to get rid of this tank. I've got petrol bombs, I've got bullets. The bullets don't do anything. After spending about 45 minutes, I gave up, and I crawled through this vent to get out of the area. At the end of the vent, there was an RPG, so I used that on the tank. There's one more tank in the area, and after killing the enemies, I didn't know what to do again. I'd only had one rocket. After wandering around again, I saw that one of the soldiers was carrying an RPG and destroyed the tank. You get rewarded with all the soldiers cheering. That's what you get, but it's satisfying. This is one of my favourite side objectives, and the reason for that is this is before we've met Drebin. So we go through this underground tunnel, get some supplies, weapons, whatever, and then we meet Drebin. Now Drebin is a gun launderer. So in this universe, the nanomachines in your body lock the weapon you have on you so that members of a different army can't use them. Rebels don't have this, but the praying mantis soldiers do. So what he does as a gun launderer is he takes the ID weapons and unlocks them for Snake to use. He stabs him with a syringe that lets him remotely change if he can use a gun or not. And you unlock guns, or buy guns. This hurts the game, in my opinion. Drebin's a great character, but his shop ruins certain aspects of the game. In the previous area, I had to go around and I had to find a way to destroy a tank. It was a great feeling when I found the RPG and helped them win the battle. Now with Drebin, I can now buy an RPG. I can now buy any weapon in the game. Not any weapon right now, but as I go through, I'll be able to unlock more. And now we meet Johnny. Now Johnny appeared in 2 games before this, and his father appeared in Snake Eater. He's just been a joke character up until this point, but now he's one of the main characters. Now we get put back in the battlefield, and we get given some new mechanics with the barrel and the mortar. We can use the mortar to destroy the tanks in this area, and we can get our soldiers to move up. Now we move on, and there's a sniper. What happens here is you go out, and Otacon warns you about the sniper, tells you to go around. If you go through, we can see some of the rebels get shot. Now going back, if we were to do that again, open up the Drebin shop, buy a sniper rifle, buy bullets, and kill all the snipers, we can save those rebels. Which is cool. It would be cooler if we could find a sniper ourselves. So in this area, I don't think you can win the battle. I've tried for a long time, and the enemies just keep on spawning and spawning and spawning. So let's move on. Now we go into a building, and we're looking for our contact that's going to give us information on Liquid Snake. You have to climb to the top of the building, and there's loads of claymores and sleeping mines. Now we meet Meryl, who was in Metal Gear Solid 1. We also meet the other members of Foxhound. Johnny is referred to as Akiba by his team members, based on Akibara, an electronic district in Japan. He has a keyboard on his arm which he uses to arm and disarm traps. So after this, we find out that Liquid's in the area, we've got info on where he is, and then we get ambushed by the Heaven Troopers, also known as the Frogs, which are based off the Arsenal Tengens from the second game. And then we get a really cool animation by the Foxhound unit that's completely skippable, where they line up and do a squad formation and then Johnny shits himself. And that's it, we've caught up to where we are. But going back to when we talked about melons, I didn't talk about the box. The tagline for Metal Gear Solid 4 was "No place to hide," and on the box it says "No place for Hideo." It's a pun, and it's just a funny little Easter egg. but some people think it's placed in the game because of the direction Kojima saw the game industry going at the time. This being entirely focused on repeating the same products so that it would be safe and easy to get a profit. And looking forward from 2008, he wasn't wrong. It's very common these days. Each November, there's always AAA games that repeat the cycle of games that come before. One of the reasons I love Metal Gear Solid 4 is that it's truly original. As my dear uncle once said.
I don't wanna be out everybody else's. I'd much rather be original. La 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 la, let's show 'em how we do this. La 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 la, let's start the show. I don't wanna be out everybody else's. I'd much rather be original. First off, I'm thankful for everyone that follows me and everyone that doubted me can swallow their apology. I'm the kind of character that's written in mythology, living in the present day. It's in my biology. Rap about equality and rock the mic properly. It's obvious a lot of you can learn from this philosophy. I'm not a know-it-all, I'm full of curiosity. I'm fascinated by the stars and the luminosity. Guided by prophecy, working at full velocity. I grew up on the classics, class of Sean Connery. My woman's from a James Bond flick, I won the lottery. Plus I'm old young mind, similar to pottery. I just stole your fans, better call it in a robbery. I sound so original, my clone couldn't copy me. No, this anatomy belongs to a prodigy. Honestly, in my mind, nobody is topping me. La 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 la, let's show 'em how we do this. La 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 la, let's start the show. I don't wanna be out everybody else is. I'd much rather be original.